Chair recognizes Representative Chyung for discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My amendment would add the requirement that any applicant for EDGE credits would have to agree that both the application and the agreement with the IEDC be made available to the public 3 years after the application itself is submitted. This provision would apply retroactively to proposals made anytime in 2017 onward. While the work that the IEDC and Secretary Schellinger do for companies to employ Hoosiers is important, it is equally important that we safeguard taxpayer dollars and ensure that they are being leveraged in smart, not just large, ways. A recent study by Columbia Business School and Princeton found that state and local governments on average pay out about $119,000 in tax incentives for every job created. Not a small price tag by any means. But here in Indiana, EDGE credit commitments on active contracts totaled $324 million in the last year and $1.9 billion in public money since 2005, according to their latest annual report. One may try to argue that my amendment limits our state's competitiveness in some way by mandating a bit more public disclosure. That's why I decided on a 3-year window to keep both the initial application and agreement from public consumption. Even a mega deal like Amazon's HQ2 only took 14 months from start to finish, so 36 months should be ample time. When it comes to the larger debate over the future of government-led corporate tax abatements, I wouldn't advocate for a solution that disarms Indiana before others, but instead would push for a national or multi-state compact when it comes to these incentive packages. For example, last August, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly, a Democrat, and Missouri Governor Mike Parson, a Republican, agreed to stop offering incentives for companies deciding to move just a few miles between the two Kansas cities, one in Kansas and the other in Missouri. Regionalism like this would change economic development from being a race to the bottom to instead ensuring that everyone, including taxpayers, can emerge as winners. Second, one may argue that we as a state wouldn't want privileged communications or trade secrets to be revealed to the public, and that's why I only proposed that 2 documents be made public: the initial application for the tax credits and the part of the subsequent agreement where a dollar amount is referenced only, not any supporting documents. And last, addressing Central Indiana's bid for Amazon HQ2, this legislation is intended to clear up any ambiguity that is currently being litigated. Through tax analysts' documents request, we learned that cash-strapped Gary offered $800 million in incentives over 25 years, while the state of Indiana offered $2.75 billion on top of a capital commitment of at least $2.5 billion in investment. So experts believe that Central Indiana's naturally would far exceed that. And in closing, the bottom line literally is that, to me, taxpayers really deserve to know when their money is being offered to some of the richest corporations and individuals in the world, sometimes to the tune of billions of dollars. That could have been reinvested back to taxpayers through education, healthcare, tax refunds, or rebuilding our deficient infrastructure. I urge you to make a taxpayer-friendly vote to accept this amendment and respectfully request a roll call. Thank you.
Further discussion on the motion to amend.